Welcome back to 15 Lanes Talk Preview Show, Game Week 2. We have a lot to talk about, from Arsenal's injury crisis, Liverpool defensive worries, and Manchester City. Haaland is already back on the score sheet, plus the biggest transfer headline this week of Eberechi as a move to Arsenal, and all the drama that happened in Game Week 1. Let's go! Starting with a simple Game Week 1 review, we saw Haaland scoring 2 goals for Manchester City against Wolves, but Tinaji Reinders also assisted in this game and scored. He looked really good. Plus the cameo of Ryan Cherki, who came off the bench and scored 1 goal. If we move on to Liverpool versus Bournemouth, we saw Ekitike. He played really good in this game and scored. And Antonio Semenyo also, who was racially abused, but scored 2 goals and silenced and leveled the game till Liverpool went ahead to win the game. But some of the concerns on the Liverpool side were Kakas and Frimpong. They stink in this game really bad. If we move on to Arsenal versus Manchester United, Arsenal won 1-0, but they had some concern in their attacking fluidity. Yeah, it was really bad, and there were very many Arsenal fans raging about the attack and the fluidity of their team. You understand? The constant is the VAR drama in Game Week 1. It is just Game Week 1, but the drama still continues. We saw some drama in the Chelsea versus Crystal Palace's game, and also the Leeds and Everton game. There was VAR drama. Game Week 2 starts today, where Chelsea face West Ham in another London derby. Remember, Chelsea, their first game was against Crystal Palace in a London derby where they drew. And West Ham played against Sunderland where they lost. You understand? So both teams are going in this game looking for a win. But if we go to head-to-head, Chelsea has won 57 times and West Ham has won 44 times. They have made 23 draws altogether. You understand? But if we go on the injury concern, Chelsea are still out with Romeo Lavia and Liverpool. But on the other side of West Ham, in their attack, they are still missing Summerfield. And in Game Week 1, we also have Palmer and Cole Palmer and João Pedro, the way they stink. Is this game of West Ham going to be a redemption for Palmer and João Pedro? Are they going to do something special tonight to help Chelsea win the game against West Ham? Because both teams are still looking for their first win in Game Week 2. So let's wait and see what's going to happen in this game tonight. One of the biggest games in Game Week 2 is between Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspurs. You heard me right. If we go head to head, Tottenham has won 28 times and Manchester City has won 23 times, and they have made 9 draws. Yes, but on the other hand, we know Manchester City struggles a lot when they face Tottenham. We don't know how that thing happens, but every time Manchester City faces Tottenham, there is a way Tottenham just comes up on top. And both teams had a good start in Game Week 1, where Spurs won 3-0 and Richarlison got back his pack in that game. He scored 2 goals, and Muhammad Kudus was running and pulling all the strings in that game. He assisted twice. And on the other hand of Manchester City, they won 4-0. Haaland netting 2 goals, Tinaji Reinders assisting and also scoring, plus Ryan Cherki, who came off the bench and scored, and he looked really sharp and he was entertaining to watch. You understand? So Manchester City against Tottenham tomorrow is going to be cinema. And we know Thomas Frank, many big teams struggle against Thomas Frank. And Manchester City, since he struggles against Spurs a lot and they are facing Thomas Frank, who knows how to set up his team when he's facing big teams and makes big teams bleed. Tomorrow is going to be a very big game to watch, very entertaining game to watch between Manchester City and Tottenham. If we go into the injuries, News coming from Manchester City show that maybe tomorrow we may see Rodri back in the Manchester City squad, plus Phil Foden, and Ederson. And the guys who are still outside, Vardio is still on the sideline, Kovacic is still on the sideline, and Savio is still on the sideline. Tottenham were also interested in Savio. And on the hand of Tottenham, they still have Udogi on injury. They have Madison, Kulkeski, and Bissouma. They are all outside. So tomorrow is going to be a nice game to watch between Tottenham and Manchester City. Arsenal versus Leeds. Arsenal have faced Leeds 14 times in all competitions, where Arsenal has won 12 times and they have only drawn twice, which means Arsenal has been dominating this fixture very well. You understand? But both teams won their first game in game week 1. Yes, Arsenal had a narrow win against Manchester United and Leeds humbled Everton. But if we dive in this fixture, Arsenal injury concern is Havertz was injured this week, and also Ben White and Timber are doubtful for this fixture. And on the other side of Leeds, Ethan Ampadu is also doubtful whether he'll make it in tomorrow's game. You understand? But the biggest talking point in this game is Victor Gyökeres. Yes, he played in the first game against United and he was battered. He was like the stink of the week. Everyone is praying for his downfall. Everyone is praying that he doesn't perform. Everyone is doubting Victor Gyökeres. Do you think Victor Gyökeres is going to put a strong performance against Leeds tomorrow? Is he going to show people that he has arrived? Is he going to show people that he's him? Is he going to score in this fixture against Leeds? Because a lot of people are praying for him to fail. Yes, there has been a debate that Arsenal never needed Victor Gyökeres. He's not good in the Premier League. He's 27 years. He has never played in the top 5 leagues. He's from Portugal, blah, blah. So tomorrow, will he shine, Victor Gyökeres? And since Havertz has also suffered an injury, which means tomorrow we have a chance to see Victor Gyökeres playing the full 90 minutes. Yeah, if Mikel Arteta doesn't sub him off, he will play the full 90 minutes. And the big news coming from Arsenal this week, they also completed the signing of Eberechi Eze. They had to add one attacker or two in their team, so they went ahead to sign Eberechi Eze after the news broke out that Havertz had suffered an injury. So was the signing of Eberechi Eze a panic buy because Havertz had suffered an injury, or it was already in plan? But Arsenal versus Leeds tomorrow, we are going to see how everything unfolds. But Arsenal has been dominating this fixture. Is Victor Gyökeres going to shine? Is one of the talking points, or is one of the guys people are going to look at? Manchester United versus Fulham, game week 2. Head to head, they have played 41 times, and Manchester United has won 31 times, drawn 7, and Fulham has only won 4 times out of these 42 times, which shows Manchester United has dominated this fixture. But both teams dropped points in their first game of the week. You understand, Manchester United suffered a narrow win against Aston, and Fulham made a draw against Brighton. The only positives from Manchester United is that they improved their style of play when they played Arsenal. There was fluidity in their game. They were attacking, they were breaking the lines. Everything was trying to connect under Ruben Amorim. It's the first time we saw Manchester United or the idea of Ruben Amorim. And against Fulham, are we going to see the front three? Because the Manchester United is going in this new season with a new front three of Brian Mbeumo, Benjamin Sesko, and Matthias Cunha. Tomorrow, are we going to see these guys playing together, and are we going to see the real idea? And the most important thing is, like, we have seen Manchester United suffering from consistency. The game against Arsenal, we saw the idea, we saw the improvement in the style of play. But is the consistency going to be there in the style of play? You understand? Or we are going to see a fall off from this style of play when they face other teams that are not Arsenal. Because if you are facing a big team, there is a way you set up. You understand? But if you are facing a small team like Fulham, will Amorim throw his guards? Will he put his guards down, or he's going to go the same? He's going to play the same way he played against Arsenal. He's going to go very hard. Side of Manchester United, if we go into the injuries, Lisandro Martinez is still injured, and on the side of Fulham, Robinson and Sessegnon are also out of this game. This might be the biggest game of game week 2. Liverpool versus Newcastle. They have faced each other 160 times. Liverpool has won 80 times. They have drawn 42, and Newcastle has won only 38 times. The numbers show, the stats show that Liverpool has been dominating this fixture with ease. But this time around, things may change, because there is a person, it's like a beef. They are going in battle, they are going to war. You understand? So Liverpool is chasing its second win, and Newcastle is chasing its first win in game week 2. But when we watched Liverpool against Bournemouth, they were exposed because they lacked Ryan Gravenberch in that midfield, and also Philpong, who suffered an injury, and Kakas, they were also not good in that game. And if we know Newcastle has a powerful midfield. They use power and they are very direct. Even Anislo talked about that. So in the match against Newcastle on Monday, are we going to see this? Is Liverpool going to stand out? And the biggest concern going in this match is about Isak. Liverpool wanted to sign Isak. Isak has been on the strike with Newcastle for a very long time. He even this week he wrote a statement, but in his statement, Newcastle released a transfer request to let him go. Yeah, you understand, because he doesn't want to lose the bonus. If he puts there a transfer request requesting Newcastle to allow him leave, he won't get the bonus. And Liverpool have been chasing Isak for also a long time, but that's the drama. Isak is the reason why this match is going to be the biggest match this week in game week 2. The injury concern in these fixtures are from Newcastle. We may not see Joe Willock and Jacob Murphy. They are very doubtful. And on Liverpool's side, Frimpong and Gomez will be out. Ryan Gravenberch, we may see him coming back in the squad. My predictions for game week 2, starting with today's game. West Ham versus Chelsea, I think both teams score. Tottenham versus Manchester City, I think both teams score. Wolves versus Bournemouth, both teams score. Aston Villa versus Brentford, I think both teams score. Burnley versus Sunderland, both teams score. Arsenal versus Leeds, it will be a win for Arsenal. Crystal Palace versus Forest, I think it will be a win for Forest. Everton versus Brighton, a win for Brighton. Fulham versus Manchester United, I think both teams score. Newcastle versus Liverpool, both teams score.